broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
That song? Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our Ultimate Fighter Episode 7, Mental Breakdown AFTERBUZZ.
I think that just happened.
What was that?
I think that just happened with us.
What?
The scratching.
The scratching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bust out into a
mental breakdown.
That was a mental breakdown.
Invisible scratch pickles.
Pickles.
Strudel.
Pickles.
Strudel.
We got it all.
So I go by many names. Strudel Boy is one of them. Today I am Suri Serrano. That's right. You can call me Suri Serrano. And let's meet everyone on our
Your hair
panel.
looks like shit this week.
Does my hair look like... I know. She always gets her hair fixed at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what happened?
Nails are crap. You just
cut it short.
Go into pot.
Bitch, I ain't trying to do nothing. All right, wait.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jared Gilkerson. You can find me on the interwebs at Gilkerson Radio. I'm going to promote it.
The couch.
Yeah.
Tanjay.
Tanjay had his fight this week. I did.
Yes, you did.
We'll get into that.
Terrible.
J10-716 all over your internet as usual.
Would you like us to still refer to you as Tanjay? I mean, that was heartbreaking.
Nope. We've it didn't go my way, our way, and nope. As I said in episode 1, you know, if he loses, then I get to be me again.
Oh well, so you're J10
So
now.
back.
J10 is back. Yes.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I mean, do you want to do this little interview as Tanjay before you let go of the moniker?
I was thinking about that.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about the match if you want.
Well, I'm just curious. Before we get anything, what happened, Tanjay? What happened?
Well, I got to go back and I got to work on the grappling. Martin has good jiu-jitsu, and you know the match. I thought the match was going my way. Quite frankly, he took me down early in the first. I was feeling him out a little bit, and he took me down, controlled me, but didn't really have a whole lot. You know, I was getting by. He didn't really have a whole lot of offense. I was working for Kimura a little bit, shrimping away, so I was defending pretty well. I thought I actually gave myself the first round. Because once we got back up, I got up, cage clinch probably about a minute into it, and then broke, and I started flying and dropped him with that nice right, you know?
Flying
ground and
up.
pound. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That right was a bomb.
That was fun.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We've been working on that. So, no,
We're disappointed
That's
in
how
you.
Yeah, it was. We are
No pressure.
disappointed in you.
None.
I guess we'll get back to the match in a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, man. I'm sorry. It was just very disappointing.
I know you were. Well, we all
you think
were.
you feel bad about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's right here.
Jesus. All right, well, let's start off right at the top of the episode here. The episode started with quite a bit of shenanigans, mental breakdown for all the drama and craziness that was happening in this house. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, I love the...
We know where the mental breakdown.
who
that was
we know who
referenced to, right?
didn't have a mental breakdown was Artem, and it was early on. I mean, let's just get right into it with the whole Nos bath.
Yeah, that's where it started with the Nos bath. So the American fighters have this, tradition. If they win, they do a Nos bath, and there's our first Nos reference.
What
right
is
there.
a Nos bath? Go ahead. Let's fill in.
All right, this is a
blank.
Nos bath. So the winning American fighter stands in the center, and then, boy, I'm gonna need to watch this reference. I could do this because it's after 10. Then all the other male American fighters, because there's only males there, obviously, get around him with a bunch of Nos and go bukkake style all over him. That is what a Nos bath.
It's a very
is.
homoerotic moment.
That was the word I was thinking of as well. And that just-
Homoerotic, not bukkake. I mean, it's
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think bukkakes in general, by nature, are a bit homoerotic, regardless.
It could be.
Even when there's a chick in the center, okay? But, yeah, this is
done
the
it.
weirdest tradition, especially for wrestlers. I mean, I wrestled 4 years in high school. Wasn't good enough for the college
What'd you
level.
bench?
Sadly, it was a lot more than I can now, I'll tell you that much. But that's just the weirdest tradition, especially I think it makes it worse, quite frankly, that all the dudes have their shirts off.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I was thinking.
Too
Like,
cool.
no, if it was, every other guy had their shirt on, if a few guys had their shirts on, somehow that would make it a little bit better. And I'm fine. Look, to be clear, this is not an anti-gay stance by any means or anything.
Or anti-nos, more importantly.
Yeah.
Well, okay, granted, but Monster is a bit better. I drink Monster myself.
Okay.
And
I've actually never had a
UFC as
nos,
well.
but I'm gonna pop one open after the show for the drive home.
Keep your shirt on. As
Keep your
well,
shirt
by the
on.
way.
You know what? That's going to be the new Nas slogan. Nas, keep your shirt on.
Not a bad one. Yeah.
But how great was that Artem? He made the show.
Well,
Artem was all over this.
Artem
Artem's
had quite the
comments.
reaction to the Nas thing, and the point I wanted to make was just that it's really weird when you get a bunch of guys spraying any kind of liquid on you with their
Here we
shirts
go.
off.
Here we go.
Guys,
Here we go.
yes, it is homoerotic, is the point, and that's fine.
Or
If
just
you guys are into that, but
or
I don't
just-
think any of these guys really are.
or
No.
just a J-Tan weekend.
That's a
you
J-Tan
call-
weekend,
no,
yes.
Call it either one you
That's
want.
right. Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Nope.
You call it either
That's
one.
a Friday and a Saturday. He's got to rest after that on a Sunday, though. He's got to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a little break.
Yeah, it's his nos party.
Artem was all over the comments. He
Oh,
was
man.
all over him.
He was pretty strong
was a total
against
waste
the
of
silliness there,
Worst
right?
way you could be wasting nos.
Yes.
How great is that? Like,
Well, it's
but
great.
with the deadpan delivery, he doesn't know how good his delivery is. Like his sit down interviews are better than anyone else's because everyone else is just giving the kind of cookie cutter answer. But he's literally looks like the saddest. Most disappointed individual in the show,
Yeah.
but he's mentioning penises and wasting nos.
Okay, you got to explain that part because otherwise that sounds way too
Well,
random.
And then
sorry.
our Julian, our favorite drunk, he had a bandana with penises on it apparently, and he says it's a stupid bandana with a penis drawn on it.
That was the best line. Yeah. So I mean,
Something
explain.
about you,
Guys
you
got
never
drunk.
caught me wearing bandana with penis.
The quote I have here, I love this. Artem definitely hit it.
Yeah,
Quote of
you
the
got
night. I want to be remembered as the guy that was at least smart enough to not wear a bandana with a penis drawn on it.
Yes,
Artem, I applaud you, man.
Bravo.
You know what? You're not the only one. That was everybody should aspire to that.
Hopefully he'll be known a little bit more after next week.
Next
than just
week,
that. We'll
yeah.
see.
Yes.
But that's a little tease for that.
Yeah.
But we don't have to get into that right now.
Yeah, and it's a dry delivery that makes it so great.
It's great.
Yep.
Because he actually seemed disgusted by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is-
It's earnest. It is earnest.
Yeah.
And also the line about Nas wasting Nas. I love the fact that
It's the worst
This
way
is
to
energy
waste
drink.
Nos.
They have plenty of it. Believe me, they're getting it by the caseloads
Yeah,
every day.
it's fridge full.
He's concerned about conserving Nas energy drink. God bless him.
They
it's
should put him in a
dumb way to
commercial.
do- Yeah.
The Americans were so wasteful of the Nas, and Artem and the Europeans. They're like, no, we like to actually could be considerate about our usage of Nas.
You know how
it goes
there's
in the body.
videos on the internet of using Coke or Diet Coke to clean off bumpers and
Yeah.
rust off of cars and
Yeah.
stuff. I wonder if they had access to cars, would they have taken the Nas and tried it on the bumpers as well? And would it have been that effective?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that Coca-Cola takes out the nos.
Oh, so the only thing
I
that
bet they
takes
would
out
pay more
Nas,
money.
Like,
they have to use Coke to clean up Nas.
Oh, you have all this nos on you. There's some
That's-
Coke. Put some Coke
Good
on
point
it.
too, though.
The shenanigans don't stop there, though.
Right?
Shenanigans?
No, or the buck.
The drunken shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
were in full effect that night.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh! All right, well, let's get into the shenanigans then, shall we?
Right.
Yeah.
Absinthe.
Wait, but I know who said it. Who said it incorrectly? Was
Oh,
it,
does one of them say it incorrectly?
Was it?
Galecchio called it the green stuff.
The green
I
stuff.
Yeah,
think.
and I think he said absinthe incorrectly. I forget what it was.
But you know what? Galecchio gets away with it because that's all Tomisms. Like everything he can chalk down as being a Tomism. If he ever messes up, he's like, "It's Tomism." Like that's always his go-to, and it works. Yeah. So it was Chris and Juicy J.
And Galecchio.
Yeah. Well, Galecchio, was he drinking it?
I think
He did.
was.
I think because remember they had 4 shot glasses that Artem couldn't count. I think that was a rib from the show. Like they had a close up of 4 shot glasses, and Artem's like, "I see 3 shot glasses," and I'm like, "Well, they couldn't get a shot to make Artem sound a little bit more intelligent, or he really just couldn't count." I'm not sure, but there was definitely more than 2 people drinking, but not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was during pool initially.
Yeah. And so it starts off where they're playing. They do absinthe. absinthe for the first time, I guess, some of them. They do it, whoever loses each pool game is going to take a shot, and it ends up being Chris taking 5 shots at that point.
Yeah.
They said he lost 5
He
games.
sucks at pool, apparently.
Goddamn terrible.
But I mean, Julian must have been drinking that entire time as well, casually. Maybe lost a game in there at some point.
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
of course the Tom challenge at the end.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Tom says, you guys should drink beers, and whoever drinks it the slowest has to take a shot of absinthe.
There's more.
Tom, you damn instigator.
Seriously.
Oh my
Tom
gosh.
is a bad influence when alcohol is involved.
Well, he just sees a good.
If there's anything we've gotten out of the season, it's that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Guys, make sure to watch the Tomcast to get some more Tom Galecchio. He cracks me up. Yeah, so he got them wasted drunk, man. He got them just
Grits and
smashed.
Julian think this is the greatest idea in the world.
Yeah.
And Grits,
But yeah.
they kind of laid the seeds last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago in the previous episode of Grits getting a little bit frustrated and stir crazy with the house. So it doesn't surprise me that it led to this.
No.
And just about every
yeah.
season needs one of these episodes as well.
And especially a guy who wears penises as a headband. Like, that guy probably is going to tip a few back. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it almost leads to a fight. So this is what happens. They get hammered drunk. I mean, wasted drunk. And the 4 of the American fighters, of course, Tom being one of them. I think Jason was out there. Maybe I didn't see.
Yeah, a few guys.
Yeah, and so Tom, of course, is out there because who better than to instigate all this than Tom Galecchio. And Juicy J is commenting on Chris's fight, saying that it was the weakest fight because he just sat on him basically the whole time, and so he's going to be out.
The most boring fight
He's
of
going
the
to be
season.
the most boring fight. So he's the one who's going to get the axe. Yeah.
And
For
we do,
me,
have
yeah.
that, we do have that issue coming up, don't we?
Yes, we do. It's
Soon.
coming up.
Because there's 9 preliminaries and only 8 guys can go forward, and then
Yeah.
we have quarterfinals there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for being the American team, for being such a team, with Uriah and them all working together. Of course we don't see the whole tape, but just looking at it, it just looks like, okay, both of them are bad drunks, not fun. But Julian was just pushing buttons to push buttons.
Yeah.
And then at the end he says, I was being respectful. Like, when you weren't being respectful at all. You just went out back and started talking trash about one of your teammates.
Well, I think the respect thing was that he was saying it to his face.
Oh.
Which doesn't help things,
No,
because
it's
of
not
course that's going to
respectful at all.
exacerbate the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chris is just doesn't help because Chris is a little passive aggressive, like I'll throw water and hot sauce on you or something. Like a hot
Yes.
sauce nos party.
And some more beer.
Yeah.
But then I'll start throwing it on the ground, really confusing, doesn't want to fight but wants to keep instigating. They both didn't come off very good in this whole thing. I don't know what you guys thought. But.
No, I think my note is drunk morons. Like they looked. That's my actual note. They were drunk morons.
Yeah.
They were just acting like idiots. A couple of idiots.
But it didn't escalate to the point that it has in the past. There's been a lot in previous seasons. There's been other episodes that have gotten far worse. Of course, the very first season, Chris Lieben and Josh Koscheck. That whole thing escalated to the point of Lieben trying to sleep outside in a sleeping bag or in a blanket.
Yeah.
And I think him about to attack Koscheck and Bobby Southworth, they sprayed water on him from the hose. There's another guy I'm thinking of, Julian Lane, I want to say his last name
That's not
is.
a good name to have in the show.
Apparently, yeah. His famous line was "Come at me, bro. Let me bang, bro." That was it. Let me bang, bro. Let me bang. And he was being held back. He didn't last very long in the UFC after that either. There's been several seasons where we see those major blow-ups. This one was extinguished by our boy Artem.
Yeah.
Artem
Oh my God.
saving the day once again.
Guys.
Artem in this episode. Remember at the beginning in episode 1 where McGregor loved Artem and just loved him, was fighting for Artem, and then Artem didn't get into the show, and McGregor was so happy that Artem came back. It was all. I mean, why does he love Artem? Now we know. Artem is amazing. Artem is an awesome guy. Yeah.
It's his teammate, of course. Of course, he's going to stick with him.
Yeah, but you could have a teammate could be a D-bag and be like, yeah, he's my teammate, but no, but Artem, it's like, Artem's a great guy. He's a really nice guy.
There's a lot to respect there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like Artem. I think he's my favorite on the European team. Yeah, he is the voice of wisdom.
Yes, somehow.
To break up the fight. You think as a Team Europe, you think you'd want to see a couple of the Americans get into it. Like if I was on an opposite team, I would just watch.
I was thinking about that, but all of these matches right now are going to be paired up European versus American.
Yeah.
So if these guys get kicked off the show, then you run the risk that you might have to fight a European. If you're in Artem's position.
Do you think Artem was thinking that? Or he just wants some
hell
camera
no.
time? He wants
No, he's just like, guys, cool out.
Yeah,
Nobody get into trouble.
Yeah, Artem's just a good guy. Like I think.
Yeah.
He's just a good guy.
He also thinks the Americans are idiots too. Or
yes,
drunken idiots.
there
which
is that.
He's not necessarily wrong about that, clearly.
No, not based on this episode.
No,
Yes.
yeah. I hated Julian in this entire episode. I really just disliked him. He came up just like a total D-bag, and then the next day they're eating breakfast, and he just says, it's more the alcohol than anything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you, every time you get, I'm not saying I've never done anything stupid when
I was just going to call you on that shit. Come on now,
No,
son.
but you can't, I could just see him getting drunk and getting into with everyone the night before, and the next day he's like, well, it's more the alcohol than anything else. And
Yeah.
It's just like his excuse.
That
for being a dick.
happens, though.
No, it does happen, but I can
Have
see...
you not ever done some stupid shit like that with
I
your
can
boys?
see it happening 5% of the time, but I'm usually a fun and happy drunk.
Okay.
But he seems like a guy who just wants to kind of instigate, and they're all a bunch of alphas, and they're all just gonna,
Well, yeah.
and give each other nos parties with their shirts off and wear dick headbands. But it's just one of these things where they, I'll just chalk it up to alcohol, man.
Yeah.
Like how about, and he never apologize. Like it's just dumb. Like
No, I completely agree with that. I'm on board totally. Like, look, you can get drunk and be stupid, but then own that, man. You know, it was the alcohol. You know,
Yeah.
take responsibility.
No, that is. I think that is owning it.
I think owning
how
is
about,
be like,
it would be
hey,
like,
man,
hey,
I'm
man, I
sorry.
shouldn't have tried to start shit last night.
Thank you. Yeah, hey man, I'm sorry. I'm being such a d-bag. It's not cool of me to be like that to you. Let's try to work this out. Like done. Like that's owning it.
They made it civil in the morning. I mean, they were sitting there having breakfast together, and even if it was tense, which I think Grits did mention is going to be tense until we go forward with the quarterfinals. That just it doesn't surprise me at all. If I had been drinking with Julian, and that thing popped off. And the next morning said, dude, that was the alcohol. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what we do.
I just know I can see through the BS, and I can tell he's one of these guys that probably gets like that all the time. Like it's just one of, and I'm just assuming I don't know this for a fact. I'm just reading people.
Yeah.
And
Julian, come on the show sometime.
Yeah,
we'll go
Julian.
out afterwards.
yeah.
We'll put it to the test.
Yeah, we'll go out. Bring your headband.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
We promise.
Sure.
Let's clear all this up, man. Have a few drinks. All right. Well, we can move on from that
Sure.
shenanigans.
Well, wait a second. Let me ask.
What do you got?
Is it more Galecchio or is it Julian? Who's more to blame for that night?
It's Julian.
Julian.
It's
it Julian?
Oh yeah.
Galecchio set it off, though.
Yeah,
But that's
Tom.
That's what Tom does.
Tom, you suspect.
see, Tom
We
saw
got your eye on
Tom
you,
saw a
buddy.
moment to add to the show and add some entertainment. And
So
he
did Julian.
And he could instigate it. No, Julian fell for it, and now
took
everyone
it
likes their
there.
alcohol, but then took it like it could have turned into. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. The producers are happy that Julian was there.
It could have turned into.
Yeah.
I know. It could have turned. But all the Europeans are just sitting on that other table. How about you go to the Europeans table and start some crap with them? Your true rival, but instead you just kind of just talk crap about your teammate, and it's just weird. It's weird. Talk crap about the guy you beat or the guy you're gonna beat. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That
No.
would have been something to do too.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't blame Tom. Tom does like the poking profits.
love
You
it.
know what? That's great. Tom is having a good time.
Yeah.
If you fall for it, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You should know better
Yeah.
if you're hanging out with Tom Galecchio. You should know better.
Especially by
bumper sticker.
week 6 of this show, right?
Yeah.
They
You
know
haven't figured
by
that
now.
out
If you
about
haven't
the
figured out
Tomcat.
Tom.
Yeah.
Fair point there.
How about some fights?
Yeah, let's get to the fight. Here, wait, we have one last thing. So the
wait.
dress up. We got to dress up.
Oh.
We
that's
gotta
right.
Yeah, so this is an
Cosplay.
ongoing joke.
Conor McGregor cosplay.
Yeah, so they got $12 suits
And women's pants.
and women's pants.
Yeah.
Shout out to, what was it called? Epic
Were they bottom?
Retail, not Epic Retail. Their store.
I missed
Yeah,
that.
they didn't
I-
blur
I-
it.
I didn't see what
Oh, it was something.
Shout
Whatever.
out.
Shout out. Shout out to Epic something.
Secondhand. What do you call that? Not buying vintage.
Secondhand store.
Secondhand clothes.
Yeah, secondhand store.
Yeah, but it wasn't called
Hand-me-downs?
Epic It was Epic.
Harry's
something. I
hand-me-downs.
think it
Thank you,
began with a
Harry's
D.
hand-me-downs, for all the help.
I don't know, but well, thank you to that secondhand store who
Yeah.
gracefully clothed all of those fighters for $12 a suit, and they looked hilarious. It was
It was like the Halloween Superstore for Conor McGregor costumes.
yeah, that's right. I actually thought, so here we go, ready for this transition. I actually thought that it wasn't appropriate for supporting Ton Lee into the fight. Like, it's cool to dress up and make fun of Conor McGregor, but like, you're supposed to be a team and really support this fighter going in.
There's business at hand.
Yeah, there's business at hand. I think it actually was so silly that it would have been cool during a weigh-in, but not cool when you're supporting your boy, like, who's about to go in for the biggest fight of his career.
Right.
I actually thought it went too far there. You're out there coaching in the corner, Uriah Faber, and he's dressed up in a goofy gear, and he's trying to coach.
Yeah,
and
but a fighter is not getting distracted by the. If anything, it's a good distraction for the opponent.
Ton's going to blame this whole loss on the thrift shop.
Shut up. No, I'm not.
No? Oh, he's back.
You're back. Ton's back. Ton's back. The thing
He's
is,
just a better grappler.
I just thought it doesn't bring the right energy. It doesn't bring the right camaraderie. I think because your fighter in the ring is not in that same mindset, not that same zone. I think if you're pulling the energy together, like that's what cheering is all about, and like focusing and working as a team.
You don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
he was on board.
Come on, team.
Yeah, that's my thought. That's my thought.
Fair.
Going into that fight. Which was a big fight for Ton, considering like he's a striker, predominantly a striker. We learned he is not a grappler, and he's going up a guy who was a grappler. I mean, a guy who focused on jiu-jitsu and Martin Svensson.
Yeah, like a third of his matches is pro matches or submissions,
And who talked a lot of smack.
Oh boy, did he!
I was wondering there for a while if he's going to back up, because usually the people who talk the loudest and talk the most smack don't back it up and say they're going to do this, and the other thing. But we later learned that he can back it up. But let's run through it then. If you want to
talk
run through
about
it.
the match, because how much do you think that Martin? How much damage you think he did, notwithstanding the finish, which was rear naked choke and towards the end of the second round?
Well, I think
Your thoughts on the first round?
First round.
Well, the first round I scored 10-9 for Ton. I thought he landed the cleaner, more effective strikes.
Right.
And even when Martin was on top controlling, he wasn't hitting anything really clean.
Right.
You couldn't
He
tell
wasn't
that
really
from
hitting
Conor's.
much.
He wasn't even trying to strike.
Yeah.
So that's where I started to think that he was calling his bluff. I was like, there's no way. He talked all this smack saying, the one thing he did do in the first round was he said, I'm going to walk through his punches and kicks and get to him. And he did. So I was like, okay, you can do that, but it looks like when you're on the ground, but it ended up being, okay, this guy's a really patient fighter. I don't know if you guys had the same thoughts, but I gave the edge to Ton because of the strikes. If he wouldn't have got out of it late and landed a few more, it would have been a little closer, but because he got out with a minute left or 30 seconds left, I just liked, even when he's on the ground and even his bad positions, it was almost like Martin still couldn't take advantage of it. So that's how I saw the first round.
Yeah, I agree. It was a quantity versus quality situation with control of the round versus who was closer to finishing. And visually speaking, I mean, you could debate whether Ton Lee's striking was enough, whether it was really close to finishing Martin. But Martin's control didn't come anywhere close to finishing Ton Lee at all. And that's kind of the thing in my head that tipped the scale, saying, okay, the more effective technique was Ton Lee's striking, and that gets the 10-9.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by, looking back by that Ton Lee was able to steal the round like that, but hey, I was happy we were able to do it.
Yeah. He's back.
I was really hoping because I figured the second round was probably going to be very similar. So I was hoping that we would at least get a third out of it.
Yeah.
But up until that last moment. But that first round, I completely agree. I mean, really, that's what it was. I mean, Martin got on top, tried to do something, he tried to institute that rear naked choke eventually, he tried to take his back, he tried to further his position, but he waited a long time to do it and wasn't doing it aggressively, which is great that he's patient, he didn't burn himself out, but he didn't really do anything in the end because of it.
He was looking to cook him.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ton just, every time he unloaded.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised by Svensson's chin.
Oh boy,
he was rocked, but he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't rocked to the point where it looked like he was teetering on the edge of maybe something dangerous happening. But man, for being I thought maybe he was gonna have a glass jaw for being kind of all bones out there, and he kind of gives off that. I'm gonna act like a tough guy, but I didn't see this guy. I think it's the accent that throws me. Yeah, that Swedish accent. Like I'm like, oh, what a nice guy, and I'm like, whoa, this guy's pretty tough.
Oh, he was wicked tough because that bomb that Ton hit.
Was that right? Was that right?
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Ton was working the overhand right a lot.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to remember what else.
He threw one about 20 seconds into the round when they were just kind of dancing around each other for the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he just popped him. It was
interesting is his body movement. He would follow through. It would be a big overhand right, but his whole body would follow.
He'd keep going. But he was just giving him these angles. And that's kind of where Conor gave him at the end of the fight. Conor spoke up about how unique he was as a fighter, a stand-up fighter, and how his striking is just phenomenal.
And it ultimately led to his demise, though. That first takedown that happened was off of a slip. It looked like he brought his leg up, and like it was partially blocked, and then Ton slipped out. That standing leg just slipped out underneath him. He dropped, and boom, and Martin jumped on it. And that was actually that first takedown.
Right.
But then he tried to get up. Yeah, they sprawled a bit.
Right.
But like, so Ton, Ton, after that, they were, clinched essentially. They sprawled a bit, and then Martin dropped him.
Right.
But that's where Martin's bread and butter was. But the only reason it happened is because Ton slipped. I mean, he didn't land cleanly, didn't land flush, and there, down he goes.
The takedown in the second round, as we go forward, wasn't that off of a kick as well, if I remember correctly, or no?
No, I think
Sven shoots takedown, and he pulls him down.
Yeah, he
gets it back and yanks him down.
Yeah, it wasn't off a kick.
Right.
But yeah, I guess we'll just jump into it. You want
more of the
what do you
same?
think round two?
More of the same, but more effective for Martin in that round two there.
Well, it was that front kick that they were working on the whole time with Martin, and they saw that Ton had a wind up to his strikes. He wanted to go big, so he had a big wind up, and so they were just kicking out that support underneath him, and it actually worked, and it did. Conor said it afterwards. It threw him off. So like Ton would come in, kick out a support, and then he stepped back, and then he was kind of nervous to throw after that, and then that's all that hesitation right there. Boom, Martin jumped on it, grabbed him, and then it's over. Yeah. Martin was tough.
Yeah, both fighters were better moving forward, and it was a matter of who was going to be able to work their game moving forward, I thought.
He cooked him, once he got him to the ground, cooked him and set up. I think Tonley was thrown off. I think he kind of mentally checked out once he was in that full guard. He was really, in the first round, he was definitely maintaining a defensive position and not threatened, but in the second round, once Martin got the takedown and was in full mount, after that, I believe he got the body lock on him, figure four.
He just got
lock.
Impatient too. Ton just got way impatient.
Yeah.
He tried to go for an armbar, a Kimura, something underneath there.
Yeah, he was working the Kimura.
Yeah, and that is
but
not
that wasn't
something
close at all.
No, that's not something he should even work. I mean, it didn't seem like that's something that's in his
repertoire.
His repertoire, his toolbox. His repertoire is better. It sounds nicer.
Well, you gotta use the tools to get good at them, and at least he was keeping Martin preoccupied and keeping his hands busy. But once Martin got the back and the rear naked choke, that was the thing.
Ton should have gone to the cage. He had a lot of success in the first round when he got kind of took that ground game to the cage and almost kind of could use the cage a bit.
Yeah, he pushed him against the cage
a little bit, and then he was able to get up from that. And I thought he was going to try to do that again.
I don't even think it was in his mind at that point. He really did seem like, I have this, there was a camera angle at one point as he was just completely, like a goose underneath there getting cooked. And he looked frustrated. There was this shot, I remember catching, and I was like, gosh, he's so frustrated right now because he does not know how to get out of this.
You would be too if you were under that guy for 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yes.
When you're getting owned in jiu-jitsu, it just sucks in general.
Yeah, it looks it's like very smothering.
Yeah.
Just looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that ultimately led to the rear naked choke.
Yeah, what was how many minutes in was that? About 3 minutes?
I thought it was towards the end of the round,
And middle to end. I think after 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely the last half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I don't want to broke record, but Ton just looked terrible on the ground. Just kept How many times did it? I mean, Svensson probably could have got a choke on him in the first round. How many times did he show him his back? And then,
I don't think he was close to the choke.
He wasn't. But the thing is, Ton was giving him his back a lot.
Really
he did it a couple times, and you notice whenever you guys see me watch, I'm always like, I move with the fight. I'm always like, I'm gonna do this, do that, and every time Ton was like just giving him his back, I was just cringing. I was cringing. It felt just awful.
Yeah, he needs to work on it.
Yeah,
I like his game a lot because we heard from Martin that Ton hits hard, really hard, and he was blocking those shots, and he said even while blocking them, you could feel his power.
Yeah.
So I hope Ton doesn't go. What's that?
Oh, I can see Ton possibly getting a match on the finale.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just one fighter from each team that's going to go.
In the finals.
No, I mean at the they have 8. They have 9. Each team has 9. So it's one guy goes after the initial first round. Correct.
Gets eliminated.
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah. No. I'm talking about. I was gonna wonder. Does he see a match in the UFC?
Okay.
Do you think?
He's marketable if he can just improve his ground game a little bit.
Yeah.
He's definitely marketable.
Look, there's other guys that have. I mean, Uriah Hall is a great example, and I'm sure there's others as well that show certain flashes of great potential. Yeah, they've got things to work on, but Hall had things to work on. A lot of guys have things to work on that come from the. Why was I going to say WWE? God knows.
The WWE, a lot of guys.
I don't know where that came from.
Brock Lesnar calling you Undertaker
from the UFC. My apologies there. But they get a shot in the UFC, and if they can produce highlight reel knockouts like Ton did in the first, the first episode, then they keep them around and just encourage them, maybe direct them to the right coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah. What did you guys feel about the fight? Write to us. Let us know right now. I mean, it's important. I think we got Boza in there, of course, right?
Yeah.
Boza's saying.
Always Boza, yeah. We'd love to hear everyone's opinions. Even if you have to tweet us afterwards, I'd like to hear what people thought about that. I really want to hear about that first round because, I mean, we all know what happened ultimately in the fight, but I always love to hear because usually one of us. How did you score the first round? Was it 10-9 for Ton?
Yeah, it was one of those where I was like nail biting.
So this is the first time I think we've all three of us have agreed on some fight. We didn't all agree who was going to win coming in. I'm so sorry, my friend. Yes. But sometimes predictions.
Why are you apologizing to him? I'm the one that got choked out.
I thought you were Jay Tan.
Well, yeah, okay, sure. Maybe I am now. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
But are we still are we gonna keep doing this prediction train?
I like the prediction train. Let's keep prediction train right now.
For the next,
who did you predict for that one? The last one.
This show. This episode?
Yeah. Did you predict?
Yeah, I was sure I was going to get the head kick.
Oh, God. That's right. I forgot you predicted yourself.
I was going to get a back head kick in the first. Yeah. You got to believe in yourself. If you don't, what are you here for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only person that predicted right was you. We're 0-1. You're.
I was rooting for Ton, but I just didn't like that the guy was so good at jiu-jitsu. And, when a guy's that good at getting someone on the ground, and it's... and he's got the height. He didn't have the reach, but I don't know. It's if you could just keep a striker at bay, keep some distance, and then shoot when you need to, or catch a leg when you need to.
Striker that needs to keep the grappler at bay. The grappler's the one that wants to.
Well, I'm saying keep
the distance.
keep the distance with the like you were saying with the front kicks. Like, okay, because as soon as a lot of strikers are very uncomfortable going backwards. So as soon as you create that, that's what the kind of distance I was trying to say. Like create distance on your own terms, and then the fight will turn in your favor. But I just like someone he was a little long, a little rangy.
Do you think that the stances made any difference? Martin's a southpaw.
I think maybe the height. I mean, 3 inches. I mean, we saw that Ton didn't have any trouble getting to his head with those kicks, but I didn't think that Martin was going to keep getting caught with those kicks. I thought you can adjust to that.
Yeah. Well, he was landing with the overhand right. More,
yeah. Well, when you mix the kicks with punches, but Martin just seemed to figure it out second round. Like it was just I'm not going to get hit with this.
It was that damn front kick, man. I tell you,
I know.
That changed the
and
entire
his aggressiveness.
Fight.
Yeah.
Once he kept Ton at bay with that was it. It was over. I mean, you took away Ton's striking essentially. I mean, when you made him hesitant about it. You got.
Where were his damn parents?
Where were you with Ton?
Come on, they were there for the qualifying, and I wanted to see
to
Mr.
get into
Lee.
the house.
Yeah, they were all like, "That's my dad. My dad is better than me." I want to see. That's part of the reason I was into it because it was very. I don't know. I like that. I just like that father-son connection.
Right.
With they both had such a just background of fighting.
You should go back and watch your Lyoto Machida matches.
I will
dig those.
I'm going to watch one tonight. It's gonna be how I go to sleep tonight. But yeah. So do you want to get into next week?
That was the fight. I do want to say one last thing actually about the episode before we get into next week.
Sure.
Was McGregor busy this week? Do you have a lot to do this week? We didn't get a whole lot of McGregor. I think he must have had a lot to do this week.
You got antics at the house. You got a shopping spree.
Yeah.
Depot. Epic Depot.
Epic Depot.
I think it was called Epic Depot in Las Vegas. I have no idea where, but I'm sure you can look them up on Google. Shout out to Epic Depot. That's where you go when you want to look like Conor McGregor.
Dude, I think this guy has some stake in Epic Depots.
I think, well, if he doesn't, he should by now. Hold up a bag of money. Like, you deserve a bag of money for this.
I'm going to go in
free
and
suit, at least.
try and get a suit. Yeah, exactly.
$12 suit.
I'm going to go in with the iPad and be like, look, guys, come on. I big upped you. Got any big suit sales going? Never mind it. This got seen by like over 500,000 people and probably 600,000.
Next time I go to Vegas, I'm going.
3. Yeah?
Yeah.
I might as well.
Yeah, let's go.
I might possibly, yeah.
Epic Depot.
You know what?
Not a bad idea.
I'm no joke. I'm going in April. So
Go to Epic Depot.
I'm going to Epic Depot. I'm going to Vegas in April, so I'm going to go to Epic Depot.
Hook it up, dude.
This is great.
Yeah. You have to plan.
If you
that
don't
far
come
ahead
back
when
with
you
a
have
Conor
kids.
McGregor suit, I'm going to be very
No,
disappointed.
I'm totally serious. I will do it. Okay, and I will tweet out pictures and everything. So, guys, it's a long way away, but I actually have a trip planned to Vegas in April, and I'm going to buy a $12 suit at Epic Depot.
Yes.
As long
I
as
think
we're
I
not
have
out of
one
business,
planned
I
in
guess.
December.
But Conor was that was one of my other favorite moments in the show when he came into the locker room and he's like, "Hey man, feeling good?
Right.
All right, I'll see you guys later." That was great.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if I get the sense that you don't like Conor. I don't know.
Not necessarily
I feel
the
like
case, but I am getting a bit tired of him. I understand.
I love him.
Conor.
I don't know why. I love his mannerisms.
Right.
I love the way he I don't know. He's smart about how he carries himself and how he markets himself. And I know that sounds lame and you know so robotic, but
Right.
I don't know. It's just funny and it comes off in the show. And Uriah, to me, I like Uriah. I like the team aspect, but it really doesn't do anything for me as a fan when I hear him try to be intelligent in front of the camera with his flat billed cap with the sticker probably still on it. But it's just Conor's a personality, and it's fun to see him just walk in. All right, guys, I'll see you later.
And you either like him or you don't. Like you're either in the mood for Conor or you're not.
Yeah.
When I'm watching, I'm kind of projecting myself into if I was one of the tough cast members and which coach would I want. And I'm a little bit resentful of the coach that doesn't necessarily apply himself in the way that he does. Now, granted, that said, we've seen already also that Conor does really get invested, certainly in the matches and in training. I believe the nighttime sessions, you know, when they're just doing they're doing more technique.
Yeah, he's out there sweating with him. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. And that's
not
to be
Nas.
expected. It's not Nas. It's good to know that's happening. And also, let's face it, during this time, almost surely, the UFC was having him do a shitload more media PR work than Uriah had to at that moment, okay?
Yeah.
Because at that moment, Conor had just won the title. There was a lot of hype and a lot of buzz going on about him, and you want to build on that momentum. When you've got heat, what do? You throw more wood into the fire. You know, you make it bigger. So he had that as well. So I'm sure there was a scheduling issue. Well, scheduling issue, for lack of a better phrase. He probably had to do double duty between whatever media stuff he was doing and
Make an appearance on the show.
and making an appearance on the show. But
Martin, you feel good? See you.
okay, I see you there. Yeah, that was cheesy.
See you guys.
Yeah. Feel good. Hey.
But you could see I love what Svensson said about his coaching when they were practicing the ground game, and he was like, "Wow, Conor's," and like, you can tell that Conor's still coaching these guys when he needs to, and it's proven to work because it's 4-4 right now,
3-3,
or 3-3, 3-3. So it's a tie. So we'll see how it goes later on. But it's fun. It's fun. The different coaches are fun to watch. Much better than the gym owners last season. So yeah.
It is interesting to see this thing be so neck and neck. I thought we were going to see a blowout.
We did. We called a blowout at the beginning of this thing, and boy, we were dead wrong on that.
No,
one.
because they
Man.
tape like 10 different shows. They got to take the closest one.
Yeah, that's how it works. All right, so next week we've got Conor's man Artem, and now our man too. We're on board with Artem. I think we like Artem.
I'm on board. I don't think this one is.
You're not on board.
As much as anybody, you know. I mean, it's a
was he
bunch
the
of
one
guys
that said?
fighting.
Was he the one that said double the tips with two asses?
2 asses. Oh, that's he did.
Might
He
have
did.
been. I
He
don't
did.
know.
That was Artem. It was.
Yeah, I think he yelled that.
Yep.
That was a quick line. So Artem's he's kind of quick witted.
Double the tips with 2 asses.
Trying hard, man.
Yeah, and it was like a moment because like everyone had to think about it. Even like he was that quick.
I still don't get it.
Oh, because
What was he talking about? His chin?
He was. What was that?
Was it a Uriah chin
that's very
thing
good.
or no?
No.
I took it as they were both asses, but
Yeah.
the chin is even better.
No, well.
Because Artem would have been making fun of Uriah, right?
Yeah, I thought he said, with 2 asses.
Oh.
Like
wow.
Conor and Uriah together?
But no, he was talking about the butt
about,
chin.
I thought he was talking about both coaches.
That's what I
kinda
thought
ripping
originally.
on them both.
Or was he talking about?
'Cause I think he's such
was it
good friends
TJ
with Conor.
and Party
Yeah.
Lance going out.
Oh, maybe that.
I missed that. Yeah, when they were going out till 5 a.m. in those suits.
How good is that? Because I think Artem, for some reason with Uriah, I don't know if Uriah knows something that we don't, but he's like, of course, Artem, you know all the spots to go out. So I'm getting the sense that maybe Artem's maybe a kind of a partier. It's like an under the table party, or like no one really sees it, but he's
Keeps it on the down low.
Yeah,
he's
down
smart
low
about
partier.
it. Yeah, and you know what?
That's how you lose 12 fights.
I think it was just a really dumb joke that they just decided to play off.
maybe.
Not really thinking.
I don't know. We just found how it worked in 3 different ways, so that's kind of interesting. I mean,
Which is to say that the guy probably didn't know what joke he was going for. He's like,
Maybe.
let me just say something stupid, and everyone's going to
Maybe.
laugh at it.
possibility.
Because Faber looked like a dork in that suit. Oh, wait, that my training buddy would wear.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So next week we've got Artem and Jenkins. Now Jenkins has not really gotten any time that we've seen of this guy, right? I haven't seen much. Of
Not much
Jenkins.
camera time, no.
No. So we don't know a whole lot about Jenkins. But in his first fight, what do we have in getting in the house? What was he like?
Jenkins.
What's Jenkins' deal?
We're gonna ruffle through the papers here.
Yeah, we're gonna
Just
do
go
this
along.
before we
Actually,
make
the,
our
the
predictions.
listening audience likes this part.
Yeah.
They like when they can hear Jay ruffle through the papers.
Yeah, he's Jay now.
Let me check to my notes here.
What do you call that again when you do the like fire crackling?
Kindling?
No, it used to be like an art form on the radio. Now I should know these terms, but I don't.
Yeah, radio boy. Go ahead.
Teach
us.
Foley.
Yeah,
Foley. Oh, so you're talking about Foley.
next to the fire.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Foley. The
We
art
are
of
just
Foley.
killing minutes here.
All right,
aren't we?
no, I mean we're good. So what do you got? What do we
Jason
got
Jenkins
Foley
is
for?
8-1, originally from Long
Oh,
Island,
he's
New York.
done. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
He has fought most of his career, actually, I believe all of his pro career, in the Ring of Combat promotion, which is where our guy Chris Weidman comes from. UFC middleweight. Yeah. Of course, not everybody that goes to the Ring of
Obviously.
Combat is that level. But he does train with Sarah Longo in Long Island, which is Weidman's gym. Matt Sarah and Ray Longo. 45er, listed as a 145er on SureDog, so he's fighting up a little bit. 5'8", fighting
They're
since-
both short though.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting since 2001. Let's see, of 8-1 record, his wins are 4 submissions, most of them chokes, 3 KOs and TKOs, 1 decision, and that's the beat on Jason.
Jenkins.
Factually.
Wow.
Should we predict?
It's time to predict. Do we have a? Let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV. Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Who wants to lead off?
Not me, because I'm going to Artem's page.
Okay.
'Cause I'm still
Okay,
kind of
okay.
curious.
I'll just jump
Go
on it.
for it.
I'm gonna
Do
keep.
it.
I'm gonna keep the theme going.
Well, should we talk? Should we break down Artem's background as well?
Sure.
All right,
Right,
break
quick.
down Artem for the fans.
19-7-1, 33 years old, originally from Spain, although he's nicknamed the Russian Hammer. I don't know quite where. I'm sure we'll get an explanation of that. 5'11", fighting since 2004. That's quite a while. He's fought in throughout Europe, the UK, Spain. He's also fought in Ring of Combat, come to think of it. The M1 Challenge in Russia and Japan. Respect FC lightweight champion in Germany. He won that in April 2015. Kickboxing champion, Olympic qualifier says.
Wow.
Not that there is kickboxing in the Olympics. So. 30-1 boxing record, so in BJJ purple belt. So guy definitely is nice with his left and right there.
Lost
Yeah.
a Medi coming into the house, I think, right?
Yeah,
one-
he
lost
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
string.
but yeah, he
They-
did.
they
He
had a
did
brawl.
lose and was brought
lost.
back in.
All right.
I'm going to stick with the theme of picking against the guy I'm rooting for, and so I'm rooting for Artem, but I think Jenkins is going to win. I think. I mean, there's a reason where a guy. He's probably had a little stiffer competition. He's been around longer. I usually like veterans like that. I root for them, but there's a lot more tape on how he can lose. There's a lot more tape to study on where his weaknesses are. So I think that if they do study tape, which I haven't seen them study much tape, I don't know if they
They don't
are
have
doing
that shit.
I don't think
They're
they
not
Not even at
allowed.
the gym.
Huh?
Like they can't even like at the gym
No.
look up anything or
No.
Like so Uriah can't be like, hey, I know this guy is he's fresh for a
No, you
left
don't
hook.
get study tape.
Uriah?
You do get to go out to Epic Depot in
my
Las
God.
Vegas and get all your Conor McGregor attire needs.
I'm going with Jenkins, and I think Jenkins is
And you can drink a lot,
round
too.
2. Round 2, Jenkins.
All right.
By a choke.
Jay
by a
Tan,
choke.
who was once Tanjay.
Yeah.
I do think that in this case, experience would lean towards Abner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Abner Mares, that's a boxer.
I'm sorry. You know what? No,
You just read the wrong
I
profile.
totally read the wrong profile.
for Artem.
I'll tell you why.
I was wondering that.
What an
I'm like, you gave him way
asshole
too many-
am I, guys?
I'm like, you didn't give him enough losses.
Because wasn't he 12 and 12?
Yeah, he was something
I
like
thought
that,
about
like a
that.
12
I can
11.
eat the
I thought
fat
maybe he was
one
adding
tonight
in.
because
Yeah.
that was a stupid fuck
Yeah.
up.
Wow.
No, but I know
Everything
we don't
he
have
said
the,
about him incorrect. It's just-
exactly. I don't have notes
He's
on him
a
because
short guy that says things about penises and nas.
Jeez.
That's his background.
And he's like 12 and 12.
yeah.
he didn't win to get into the house, so therefore I didn't bother doing the research
that
there.
makes sense.
Right?
Yeah,
My flub.
Jesus.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, that said, he did have a pretty high record. I'm gonna say though that I think that I'm going with you that Jenkins will probably pull it out. I think though that it's because of age and a lack of road wear in terms of fighting. Because Artem's record, what was it? 10,
12 and 12.
12 and
He's-
12,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
it was-
500.
A lot of matches and a lot of wins, but a lot of losses too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
means he's had road wear, for lack
Yeah.
of a better phrase.
Well, to keep things interesting, I mean, Jared
knew it
did
was
it last
coming.
week. I'll go with Artem.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, Jenkins, I think will probably win. But you know what? I'm going with Artem. But Artem's my guy. I'm riding it this week because I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here. You did it last week and it worked.
Look, but don't dodge.
That's right, Artem.
Sorry.
Artem is what I'm going for. That's it.
All right.
Artem is what I'm going for.
Great prediction.
Everyone, thanks so much for being here. My name is Jonathan Meza. You can find
Just
me
us here.
at Kaiba Cat. You can also call me Siri Serrano today. Talk to my left right over here.
That's me, Jared Gilkerson, at Gilkerson Radio on Twitter. Hit me up with anything you hate about me.
JTAN716, of course. Hyping up November 22nd, Club Nokia, University of MMA. Next show, come get tickets are available. ClubNokia.com. If you're in the LA area, come through and meet me. And the
right.
fellas.
Yes, also write to us. Write to us. We will answer. We will read them. Let us know your thoughts, you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
On me later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.